had a fabulous weekend. Welcome back to Monday. I'm excited to jump into math with you right away this morning. So, over the weekend, I was FaceTiming with my niece and nephew, and they were like, we came up with this really cool game. They were like, we drew this number line with chalk on the sidewalk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they're like, and then we use the number line to help us count. And I was like, whoa, what do you mean? And so they were like, well, Quinn made up a math story first, and Elliot solved it. So Quinn was like, I had 4 unicorn stuffed animals. So Elliot was like, okay, so I'm going to go stand on number 4 because she's got 4 unicorn dolls. Then Quinny said, and I found 3 more unicorn dolls. And so Elliot was like, so that means I need to go up 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. And he was like, whoa, now I'm on the number 7. And so then he was like, well, to make a number sentence to match that, we'd have 4 plus 3 because Quinn started with 4 unicorns and then she got 3 more. So those are the parts. And when we went up 3 spots, 1, 2, 3, that got us to 7. So 4 plus 3 equals 7. I was like, whoa, you guys have been practicing so much with your kindergarten classes too. And they're like, yeah. And then it was Elliot's turn to tell a story. So Elliot was like, Quinny, you had 7 unicorn dolls that you took to Granny and Papa Steve's house, but then you left 3. So Quinny was like, okay, so I have to go to the number 7. She's like, Elliot was like, yeah, so you had your 7 dolls, but then you accidentally left 3 of them there. And Quinny was like, okay, so if I had 7, but then I lost 3, that means I'm taking away. So I'm going to go backwards this time instead of forwards. So I'm going back 3 because I lost 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3. And she's like, I'm back at 4. So for my unicorn dolls, I started with 7, so that was my whole, and then we're taking away 3, so to write my number sentence, I'm going to write 7 minus 3, and then I landed on 4, so I've got 4 left, so 7 minus 3 equals 4. It's like, whoa, your brains are so big. Let's see if we can figure this out ourselves. Okay, so I made a number line already to get us going. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're going to need a number line too. I'm just going to use the same one over and over again. You can also just pause the video when you're solving the problems later and move your finger on those. So let's imagine that I have 3 Lego guys. So then I'm going to start here at the number 3. Cool. And then let's say I find 4 more Lego guys. So that doesn't mean I'm going to the number 4. That means I have to count up 4 spaces. And since I found more, I know I'm putting together. My amount's getting bigger, so I'm counting up. So I've got 3. So I'm adding 4 more. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And oh, look, I landed on the number 7. So now I've got 7 Lego guys. So let's do something else now. So now I could say, let's say I started with 9 markers. So that means if I start the number 9. But then I lost 6 of them. Well, if I lost it, that means I'm taking away, so I'm definitely going backwards. And I lost 6 of them, so that doesn't mean I'm going to the number 6. That means I have to count back 6 spaces. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. So I landed on 3, so that means I've got 3 markers left. Cool. All right. So today we're going to practice representing addition and subtraction problems using a number line where the same set is being added or taken away. So here we've got 5 plus 3, so they started at 5 and they went up 3 spots to 8. And here we've got 8 minus 3, so they started at 8 and they went back down to 5. And went back 3 spots and ended at 5. All right, so our thinking steps is a little different from what we've been doing. So we're going to listen to the story and identify the number where you are starting. So in this story, they started at 2. And then you're going to listen to the story again or think about it and identify if you are adding more or taking away. So this one, we're adding more, so we're going to bigger numbers. Then it says identify how many you are adding or taking away and move that many spots. So we know we're adding. And this one has us adding 3, so we're going to go up 3 spots. So we're starting at 2 and going up 3 spots. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So then I have to identify which number I landed on and create my number sentence with that. So I landed on 5. My parts were 2. I started at 2, and then I added 3 to it. So I've got 2 plus 3, and then that equals 5. All right. Now it is your turn. Like I said, you can either write out a number line to use, or you can just use your finger on your screen. So Logan had 7 frogs. 2 frogs hopped away. How many frogs does Logan have now? Logan had 7 frogs. 2 frogs hopped away. How many frogs does Logan have now? So I'm thinking about where am I starting on that number line, which direction am I going, and how many spots over am I going? All right, you have it. Let's pause and Let's pause and take a look. So Logan had 7 frogs, so that means I'm starting at 7. And then it says 2 frogs hopped away. So if they hopped away, that means they're leaving or taking away. So that means I'm going down. My number should be getting smaller. And 2 hopped away, so I'm going to go over 2 spots. 1, 2. So I went over 1 spot, 2 spots, and I landed on 5. So that means I started with 5, and I'm taking 2 away, and that is going to give me 5. So let's see, for my number sentence, I've got 7 minus, what is it? Yep, 2 minus 2, because we went over 2 spots, minus 2, and that equals 5. Awesome. Now the next one. Pretend that Logan's 2 frogs hopped back. So we're starting at 5 still, and his 2 frogs hopped back. So that means I'm thinking about, am I taking more frogs away, or am I adding frogs? Let's see. So I'm starting at 5, and I'm going back 2. So I've got 1, 2, oh, and now I landed on 7. So my parts this time, I remember I'm adding at the plus sign. I started with 5, and then we went up 2 spots. So my parts are 5 and 2. So I've got 5 plus 2, and that equals 7. Awesome. Next one. Stella had 4 pennies. She found 3 more pennies. How many pennies does Stella have now? Again, think about where you're counting. Are you adding more or taking away? And how many are you adding or taking away? All right, so it says Stella had 4 pennies, so that means we're starting, that's the one we're doing. So that means that we're starting at 4. Oops, and I didn't erase that. Silly Miss Libby. All right, so I'm starting at 4. All right. And then she found 3 more pennies. So am I adding or taking away? I'm adding. All right, so I'm adding, and then it said 3 more. So how many spots am I going up? Yep, I got to go up 3. I've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, so that means I landed on 7. So that means that Stella has 7 pennies. And I see they gave us, it's an addition problem. So we started with 4, and then our second part is 3 because we added 3 to it. So I've got 4 plus 3, and that equals 7. Awesome. So let's go back to the second problem on that page. So then it says Stella gave 3 pennies to her dad. How many pennies does Stella have now? So Stella was at 7 pennies and she gave 3 pennies to her dad. How many pennies does she have now? I'm thinking, am I adding more pennies? Am I taking away? And how many? All right, let's check it out. So where am I starting? Yeah, I'm starting at 7 because she had those 7 pennies. And then the problem said that she gave 3 to her dad. So if I'm giving, that means that my amount is going to be getting smaller. You got it. And so how many am I going back? You got it. I've got to go back 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm landing on 4. Okay, so now for my number sentence, they already gave us a minus sign, so we know we're subtracting. So for this problem, I started at what number? So that's my whole. So I started at 7, and then we took away 3. You got it, because we went back 3 spots, took away 3. She gave us 3 pennies to her dad, and that equals 4. My goodness, you guys are number line kings and queens too. So smart. All right, so final message from Quinn and Elliot. They said, remember to figure out what number you're starting at and if you're adding more or taking away, and then to count those steps. Awesome. Great job today, Kipsters. I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. I miss you guys so much.